breaking news today.
Please subscribe and check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
Ahead of Thursday's UN vote on a resolution to condemn President Donald Trump's decision to move our embassy in Israel to Jerusalem, a smug diplomat called the United States a blatant bully. Not one to roll over and take such disrespect, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley shut him up with one perfect sentence. In a tweet on Wednesday, Reuters' Michelle Nichols referred to a senior diplomat from a Muslim country who reacted to a letter from Haley ahead of Thursday's UN vote. A senior diplomat from a Muslim country, speaking on condition of anonymity, said of that Nikki Haley's letter, states resort to such blatant bullying only when they know they do not have a moral or legal argument to convince others, Nichols tweeted. Haley immediately fired back, writing, "Actually it is when a country is tired of being taken for granted." Indeed, the U.S. has allowed other foreign bodies at the UN to take advantage of our generosity for far too long, and taxpayers have had enough. This smug Muslim diplomat and others like them would do well to consider the fact that the majority of the UN's funding comes from the US. It's a bit difficult to see how we could be bullying other countries when, quite literally, we are the ones paying their tab. Bullies typically take money, not supply it. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley is not about to let America be insulted by another country and promptly shot back at a Muslim nation's diplomat for calling the U.S. a bully. In a tweet on Wednesday, Reuters' Michelle Nichols referred to a senior diplomat from a Muslim country who reacted to a letter from Haley ahead of Thursday's UN vote on a resolution to condemn the U.S. decision to move the embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. The unnamed diplomat complained about America's blatant bullying. But Haley shot right back with a tweet in response. Haley also tweeted that the U.S. would be taking names during Thursday's vote, which is aimed at getting President Trump to withdraw his decision to move the U.S. embassy, ultimately, recognizing Jerusalem as Israel's capital. As you know, the General Assembly is considering a resolution about President Trump's recent decision on Jerusalem, Haley wrote in the letter. As you consider your vote, I want you to know that the President and U.S. take this vote personally. She added that 22 years ago, the U.S. Congress declared that Jerusalem should be recognized as the capital of Israel and that the U.S. Embassy should be located in Jerusalem. President Trump affirmed that declaration by officially recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. The Jerusalem resolution to be presented to the General Assembly on Thursday is similar, although not identical, to the one presented to the Security Council last week. In the Security Council vote, the United States vetoed the United Nations Security Council draft resolution that was proposed by Egypt and called for the reversal of Mr. Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. The vote was held in response to Mr. Trump's announcement earlier this month that the U.S. recognizes Jerusalem as Israel's capital. After the vote, U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley said the U.S. does not veto resolutions lightly and that this was her first veto, that it stood for American sovereignty and its role in the Middle East peace process. President Donald Trump praised Nikki Haley's backbone during his cabinet meeting at the White House on Wednesday, saying, "I like the message that Nikki sent yesterday at the United Nations, for all of these nations that take our money and then they vote against us at the Security Council, or they vote against us potentially at the Assembly." Trump continued, "They take hundreds of millions of dollars and even billions of dollars and then they vote against us. Well, we're watching those votes. Warning, let them vote against us. We'll save a lot. We don't care. But this isn't like it used to be where they could vote against you and then you pay them hundreds of millions of dollars and nobody knows what they're doing." Indeed, the Obama-era policy of shelling out billions whilst letting the rest of the world walk all over us is officially dead. If the UN and foreign countries want U.S. aid, they better realize that there's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Donald J. Trump. Share the story and leave a comment by clicking one of the buttons below. Follow us on Facebook at Mad World News.